welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 19 of Bookmas. So, since it is almost the end of the month, I thought I would introduce my new board game. I also created this game. It has different pictures on it. Each picture represents a different goal or a different space. And we are gonna use my little troll. And we're gonna start at the very bottom at the start and make our way to the end every month. So I've tested this. It takes between 5 and 20 turns. The average is usually about 8. You can get the Buzzword-a-thon book because I'm participating in that. I'm going to be doing my book club every month, so I have to get that book on this TBR. So essentially, I will pick whatever books fit for the prompts, and then if I still have those 2 books left, then they will be added as extra, but they won't count against me if I don't read them. This is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. This is what I'm trying to get on my TBR for January because this is January's book club pick. I'm going to give you a tour of the board and then we will play our first round. This is going to be our little person, our little troll from Bookopoly. So we're going to start where it says start, and then the first space right here has a little heart. I think I have 2 of these spaces. I have recently made a video called Things I Love in Books. So if I land on this heart, then we are going to test that theory. I'm going to pick one of the specific things that I listed on that video, and we're going to test if I really love that every time I read it. Then there's, this says comfort zone, and then there's an arrow and it says life. So basically I have to read a book that is outside of my comfort zone. Now, these are all very much geared towards me and my life, and you will see that as we continue on. This one, I think there's 2 of these spaces as well. This one is goals, so it can be related to any of the goals that I set for myself next year. Then this one is me and my puppies. This is pet pick. I will just pick a couple of books for my dogs to pick between. There's a thriller. This has a movie reel, so it's a book that's been adapted into a movie or a TV show. I will watch the adaptation after I read the book and do a video. Then a fantasy book, and for me, fantasy is not like epic high fantasy. I don't really tend to read a lot of those. Fantasy for this space could just be like magical elements, or I call it fantasy light. I don't think that's really the true term for it, but just something that has some kind of non-worldly, non-contemporary mix of things. Like, I know I have a couple books that have time travel and time loops, and then I have like books with witches in them, and then I do have a couple of epic high fantasies that, you know, maybe I would want to read at when I land on there. So it could be just anything that makes it not exactly contemporary. This one is the must read. So I got 24 different books from Michael and Amanda. We did this book exchange, which you saw, or you will see on Christmas. I have already unwrapped them, and they are on my TBR cart. But those 24 books are my must-read for next year. This is 30 Under 30. I made a video a couple months ago about the 30 books that I want to read before I turn 30. To be quite honest with you, there are 100 books on that list, but 30 Under 30 was more catchy. So I will just pick one of those books from that video, then a contemporary, and a pile of shame books. So I'm going to have a video out next week about what my pile of shame is. I believe it's actually a week from today. And what books are on it and what my goal for my pile of shame is. So I will pick a book that's on my pile of shame. Then this Goodreads logo, that just means that the last book that I read, regardless of if I loved it or hated it, the last book that I read, I will go find on Goodreads, and then I will go to the similar page, or if you like this book, try these books. My goal is to hopefully find some on my shelf that I already own, but if that's not possible, then I can get a book from the library that is like the last book I just finished. Then this one is a dog, but he's getting a shot from the vet, so it's a TBR vet, which is just a book that's been on your TBR for over a year. Then a horror book, a Kindle book. I feel like those are pretty self-explanatory. I have like 200 books on my Kindle, and although I do read my Kindle, I don't read it as often as I would like. Then Hate Me. This is like the things I love in books, but opposite. I also made a things I hate in books video, and I'm gonna test my book hate if I get that space. Then an audiobook, that's very easy. I can just pick any audiobook. Then this new slime, it looks like slime, but it says new. That one is a new to me book. It doesn't necessarily have to be a new release. In fact, I don't buy a lot of new releases. Most of my books are thrifted or gifted. Then the Book of the Month logo, I feel like that one's pretty easy. I want to pick one of my Book of the Month books. I made a Self-Destructing Books video back in August as part of Veda, and I want to read some of those, so that is what the Self-Destructing Books is. Another goals. Then we have the little U-turn. We have 2 of these. So if I land on this, then I have to keep all the books that I've already got so far and go all the way back to start and pick a punishment from my punishment jar. Then the next one is a must read. I have a big backlog of Audible books, so I think I have like 200 books on Audible, and I've only read a handful of them, so I am putting an Audible icon on there. Then that is a picture of my lovely husband, Patrick, so it's gonna be hubby pick. I think I have 2 spaces for hubby pick. The next space is romance. I put this little video icon right there. That just means that I have to pick a video or pick a book for either a secret TBR or a themed TBR. I think most of the time I'm going to keep this book secret, but it'll mean that I have some kind of vlog coming out or in the works if I land on that one. The next one is nonfiction. And then a book that matches my outfit. So today I'm wearing white and orange. So if I get that, I would have to pick a white or orange book. Then this one is the Scribd icon. So Scribd used to have the daily pick of what you should read, they no longer do that. So instead of using that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my script and go to recommended for me, and I'm going to pick a book that is on the recommended for me page. And then pet pick again, pile of shame, testing book hate, testing book love. And then I have this space that has 5 stars on it. So this is a 5-star prediction. This just came out yesterday. This one is Big Book, which I'm continuing with my Big Book Challenge next year. Another audiobook. And then I have a goal to do a seasonal TBR every season next year. I think it's going to start becoming something that I do every year if I really like doing it. And then this is just like a seasonal pick. So once my seasonal TBR comes out, I can be like, oh, okay, well, it's the summer TBR and this is on my summer TBR, so this is what I'm going to pick. Then we have hubby pick. Then we have buzzword. So whatever the buzzword from the buzzwordathon is for the month is going to be the book that I pick for that. In January, it's who, what, where, when, why, or how. If your book title has any of those words, then it counts. So I haven't picked mine yet, but I was looking into it, and I know that those are the buzzwords for next year, or next month. Then we have the U-turn again, so we would start over, keep all the books that we have, and pick a punishment from the punishment jar. The next one is a series, so just pick a book from a series. Out of comfort zone read, a mood read. So if I land on the mood read, then I don't have to pick the book in this video. It will be just any time during the month, maybe in a reading vlog. I can pick a mood read, anything that I want. So I think we are going to do our first round. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, so it's a must read. Okay, so for our first space, we landed on must read, and I'm picking Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne because this is my book club pick of the month of January, and it was actually gifted to me by Michael. So, yay! That is the first must read. So this book follows this girl named Ruthie, who works at this assistant living place, and this guy is visiting, I think, one of his grandpa or something, but he's hanging out at the assisted living place a lot, and she thinks that he's super duper hot, maybe has like a huge crush on him, and then he mistakes her for a little old lady, and this is her like revenge kind of. She wants him to notice her as not a little old lady because she's not a little old lady, she works there. So I just think it's going to be super duper cute. Okay, number 2. It's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my goodness, Self-Destructing Books. Okay, so for Self-Destructing Book, I put a lot of young adult romances on this round of Self-Destructing Books because I'm kind of outgrown them. So, we are going to be reading Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch is this young adult contemporary in which this mom's dying wish is for her daughter to go to Italy to kind of meet her father and get to know him, and she doesn't want to be there, but she goes for her mom, and then I believe she finds love in Italy, and I think she finds this journal that used to be her mom's when her mom was her age, and living in Italy, and it starts like this adventure, but I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna love this. So, turn number 3 is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, scribbed. Okay. So I got my phone. And now we are going to go through the audiobooks recommended for me. I think I'm going to read The Science of Women in War, the special effects, stunts, and true stories behind your favorite frightening women. From scream queens to famous fatal horror isn't just for the boys. Gothic media mogul Meg and Kelly, authors of The Science of Monsters and co-host of the Horror Rewind podcast called the best horror film podcast out there by Film Daddy, present a guide to the feminist horror movies, TV shows, and characters we all know and love. Through interviews, film analysis, and bone-chilling discoveries, The Science of Women in Horror uncovers the theories behind women's most iconic roles of the genre. So that sounds great. I'm gonna save that. It kind of reminds me of Grady Hendrix' Paperbacks from Hell. Just by the synopsis and stuff, only this like more of a feminist take on it. Alright, turn number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, testing my book love. Okay, so for turn number 4, we got testing bookish love. So one of the things that I talked about in my book love video was fake dating. I'm picking Adorkable by Cookie O'Gorman. This is on my must-read for the year anyway. So I have tried to read this book twice, and then in 2021, during Bookopoly, I said that whatever I didn't read would roll over. It would roll over, and then whatever I didn't read the second month from that first list would be unhauled. So I unhauled it without finishing it. I have gone pretty far. Considering this is such a short book, it's only 200 pages, 270 pages. The text is fairly big in this one, and I think I made it like 150 pages in the first time. I'm definitely going to be restarting it though, because I haven't read it in a long time. There's fake dating, it's friends to lovers, it's also young adult, and I think that's why I gave up on it the first time, because I don't know, young adult just isn't really that great. This was super duper cute though, and I was enjoying it, so I don't know why I put it down for so long, but it's on January's TBR. Okay, this might be our last roll, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Buzzword! For the buzzword book that I picked 2 of them. The first one is nonfiction, and it is dependent on if Michael will read it with me in the month of January. If she won't buddy read it with me, then it will be my alternate choice, because this is the book that we said we were going to read together, so I don't want to read it on my own, because that's kind of rude. So the first one that I'm hoping Michael and I can buddy read together is Who Killed These Girls by Beverly Lowry, Cold Case, The Yogurt Shop Murders. So Michael and I really enjoy true crime. I think Amanda does too. But we both have this book. This one is a arc of that book, but it's this true crime book that happened in 1991, I think. Yes, on December 6th, 1991, the naked, bound, and gagged bodies of 4 girls, each one shot in the head, were found in an I can't believe it's yogurt shop in Austin, Texas. If she won't, then my buzzword book is going to be When We Were Worthy by Mary Beth Mayhem Wellen. This is about this football team called the Wildcats who win their championship, and then just hours later 3 of the cheerleaders are dead on the football field, and it's kind of investigating what happened to these girls. Right, here we go. 1, 2. Okay, so that is part of a series. So we got part of a series, and this was such a no-brainer to me. When I went to the library book sale last week, I found an arc of the Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page for free. So this actually comes out in January. So, I'm super excited to finally finish the duology of The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. And I say finally, like, it's been a long time, like, but it hasn't. I read this year. It was one of my favorite books of the year. I think it was in 3rd place. The Ravens was. I haven't read the Monarchs because it's not out yet. Just got the arc. Super duper excited. But in the Ravens, you follow this sorority house who are also witches, while there are murders taking place on campus, so the witches investigate. And then there's also like pledge week, so they're looking for new sorority sisters, but they have to be witches. And the school doesn't know that they're witches, or if they do, they don't tell everyone. And it was just such a good book. There was drama and mystery and dark academia vibes, and twisted. Very, very twisted. Dark magic, light magic, and perfection. Okay. Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4, and we made it. We finished. Okay, so these are my picks for the month. I actually managed to get my book club pick on here. I have a nonfiction potentially, because it's just going to be one of these, not both of them. The only thing, as far as my goals go, that are not included in this stack is a Kindle book. So let me figure out which Kindle book I want to read. Never mind, I don't have to go check. I know exactly which Kindle book I want. I recently obtained the other Piper Lawson book that I haven't read. Okay, so it's Wicked Girl by Piper Lawson. I believe this is the 3rd in the trilogy, and it would work for Kindle books, so that is perfect. This is my TBR for January. You know, it doesn't look too bad. So we got a few romances on here, hopefully true crime nonfiction, and contemporary with witchy elements. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and playing my new TBR game. Let me know if you have any punishments that I could put in my jar for if I don't finish my TBR, or if I land on the go back to start and I have to pick another punishment. They can be like book prompts, or they can be video prompts that maybe you want to see that I've never done, or that you think would be cool for me to do even if I've done it before. Maybe I was thinking like maybe putting something that would just put me outside my comfort zone, maybe not necessarily bookish related or video related, but I'm not sure what that would be. So for now, it'll be this. Let me know if you have any punishment ideas in the comments below, and also help me think of a name for my little game that I created. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. I will see you tomorrow.